I hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? A lot of news going on. A lot of election stuff going on. Everybody's thinking about the elections. I'm not here to talk about the elections. So if you thought I'm going to be, MSNBC or Fox, yeah, that's not happening here. So, you might have to tune in someplace else. We're here for the financial stuff. That's what we're here for. We're here for the financial stuff. Hey, Paula, how are you? I'm hoping that we get a lot of people to hop on. VJ Toss, how are you? How are you? How are you? I hope Todd hops on. Shaquille, what's good? Kalandra, how are you, sister girl? Go Fatima, what's good? So wow, we have a lot of people. Tonight's poll question. This is a good one. Is there a quid pro quo involved in getting listed on a centralized exchange or decentralized exchange? Yes, no, or other. And if it's other, spill it in the comments. Grand Rising. Woo. Yeah, because there's just a lot going on. So right now, what's big in the news? Like I said, this is not a political show, so don't think that's what we're going to talk about. It's not. Tether executives reportedly draw dividends, and the reason why, they're expecting indictments from the United States or a U.S. indictment. What that really means is the United States is saying, if we have to deal with stable coins, we really want a CBDC, but if we have to deal with stable coins, they can't be algorithmic stable coins. To me, what does that really mean? Well, it means that, it's not an American company, so they're going to do something to not play nicely with them. Northern Light, what's good? Captain Banana, you changed your image. That's going to mess up my eyesight. Hutanic, what's good? The other, I have no clue. That's a good one. Bianca, what's good? What's good? So again, tonight's question, is there quid pro quo involved in being listed on a SEX or DEX? Right? Because there's been a lot of hoopla going on. So first people were pointing their fingers over at Coinbase, and now there's a little bit of finger pointing over at Binance. And Binance is like, nah, we ain't do that. That's not happening over here. So that's going to be interesting. What's up, Joaquin? So yeah, I'm looking at all. I fat fingered the no. I don't know. I choose other. Okay, I got you. So no is really 0 and other is really 60. Okay, got it. And yes is 40% right now. Okay, all right, Bianca. That's what I hate. They don't let you. You can't. Once you vote, that's it. And what's even worse is, let's suppose I have a typo in the poll, but I've already posted the poll. I can't go in and edit it. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because you don't want to have the ability to edit the poll after the poll is started. That's, negates the purpose. Yeah, there's no going back. But yeah, Tether is gearing up for a problem with the United States. Cheating. Listen, if I want to look over and look at your answers, girl, you better let me see. Move your hand. Don't you hate kids like that? They all like this when they take their test. Anyway, all jokes aside. So yeah, Tether's gearing up for a problem with the U.S. And I find that to be a problem in and of itself. Not that Tether is girding up, but that the U.S. is looking for a fight. And I'd have to sit back and say, like, I'm going to be looking at it real hard. I'm going to see the indictment. I want to read the indictment. I want to get the salient points out of the indictment, because I'm going to sit back and I'm going to say, well, what did they do that's different than everybody else? And if I don't find anything that's, different than everybody else, I mean, what do you say? You're going to point your finger and say, well, you were involved in illicit transactions. No, the coin was. That doesn't mean we were. We created a coin. So I'm gonna be looking really hard at that, especially when you're talking about a company that goes out of their way to try to help law enforcement around the world. So yeah, I'll be paying attention big time. Joaquin is other, no clue too. I'm not mad about that. The reason why this question rings a bell with me is because back in the day with the music industry, you had payola, right? If you wanted your song to get played on the radio, you were hitting somebody off. That's why it's a big deal. So yeah, I'm paying attention to that in a major fashion, which is why I was like, yeah, with this popping up, sometimes you got to grease the skids. Sometimes you just got to grease the skids. So I'm just wondering how people feel about it because, you're talking about where you're putting your money, right? You have banks that screw up. You have all kinds of businesses that screw up. For the crypto industry, for SEX or DEX, this is, when it comes to listings, this is how a DEX or a SEX can screw up. This is really how that can happen. So yeah, that's a big deal to me. What else is going on? Binance is seeking a dismissal of the rest of the case brought by the SEC. Yeah. For procedural and jurisdictional issues in the case, as regulatory pressure on the exchange continues. And it's kind of like, why? Like, I don't understand how the United States is still trying to bang on CZ. Best believe he's not going to come back to the United States and serve another term if that's what they're thinking. I don't think that's going to happen. He did what he did, or he went to jail for whatever, both parties paid a fine. I mean, didn't Binance have to pay like $4 billion or something like that? So 1 quarter's worth of profits, 2 quarters maybe. But yeah, you get to a point where you're kind of like, are you serious? What else is there? He went to jail. We had to cut a check. What else do you want? Like, when is it over? I think the U.S. is really good. I think certain departments within the United States are really good at like casting. Oh, wait, Captain Banana. I thought that was you. No, there's somebody else whose name is, oh, Captain, my Captain. Hello to you. Hello, I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'm thinking of a 50% transfer of my portfolio to crypto. Am I panicking? I can't tell you about that move. I'm not a financial advisor. However, I will tell you this. There's a lot of us that would never keep that amount of money in a bank. So it doesn't matter. If you were talking about $1 and you said, I'm going to take 50 cents and I'm going to put it into crypto. If I had $1 and I had my whole dollar in other areas, it would depend on how my portfolio is sliced up. Stocks, bonds, options, treasuries, businesses. That's how I'm going to look at it. So when you say you're going to take 50% of your portfolio and port that over to crypto, if you're in a position where you can, I guess you can. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. But I can't tell you what you can do. I don't know your portfolio, and I'm not a financial planner. I can tell you what I would tell my kids. I can tell you what I would do, and I can tell you now. Crypto is a big percentage of my portfolio. It's not 50, but it's a big percentage of my portfolio. Kush Hands, what's going on? Who did I miss? I'm glad you appreciate it. Not a problem. Some questions I don't mind answering. Other questions I'm kind of like, really? VJ Tosh, you've been quiet. Shaquille, you've been quiet. Kalandra, quiet. Go Fatima, quiet. Northern Light, quiet. Actually, Go Fatima said Grand Rising, so not all that quiet. But yeah, I'm just looking around at this news and I'm kind of like, yeah, that's interesting. Also, you remember a little while ago I told you about how a Kansas bank got scammed, and then it lost about $8 million. Well, they lost more than that, but the FBI was able to recover $8.3 million in that pig butchering scam from a Kansas bank. Fraud schemes. Victims were manipulated into investing in fake crypto assets. Wow. Heads are going to roll. I don't know if it's at the bank or if it's people outside the bank. Just wondering. Good evening. How are you? Was watching the... No. Not even going to say that word. Not even going to say... What do you mean you're watching both at the same time? You can watch one or the other, VJ Toss. You can watch one or the other. Should be watching the community. The election, we're not even going to get a decision tonight. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. You'll beat yourself up. What other news do we have? Chainlink. This is big, big, big news. There was a diversification is always best. There was a big pilot that went on between Chainlink, UBS, and Swift, and so far so good. Success. Cross-border settlement of tokenized assets. I'm sitting back and I'm just like, wow, I'm watching the community. No, you should be in the community. In the community. Part of the community. That's what you should be, VJ Toss. I'm waiting for Todd Kritzinger to sign on. He's the newest big bagger. He signed up. I'm ready for this news. You got it, Bianca. Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. You don't have that crazy overtime anymore. At least not for a little while. That's what's up. Hey, what's good? So, looking at Chainlink and UBS joining that whole Swift project, pilot project no less. Obviously, it was a success. My question becomes, so is Chainlink really demonstrating to the world that they can handle tokenized assets? Like, and I don't know that people understand this, but Chainlink runs on top of Ethereum. Just putting that out there for people. Just putting that out there. Diversification. Oh my God. Captain Banana just cracked me up. I can't even put you in the corner because it was that funny. So imagine what that means. They really are, VJ Toss, they really are cutting their teeth on this. Hey, thank you so much for that compliment. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you very much. Chainlink is very much capable. What draws Chainlink in is the fact that they came first and they have crazy reach. In terms of tech and speed, they're not necessarily the fastest, right? I think Pith is faster. Pith, who was it? Van Eck just opened up an ETN over in Europe for Pith. Like, wow. But that's just, for people that want to invest in Pith. Pith, Pyth, however they want to pronounce it. I call it Pith. But think about this. That's not integration. Remember what I told you? There has to be an integration and then there'll be adoption. Well, Chainlink, UBS, Swift, that's integration. Cross-border integration. Want to know how they're getting that whole cross-border thing? Yeah, that's Swift. Tokenization, handled by Chainlink. The banking side of it, clearly UBS. Probably their investment bank or the investment banking portion. That's big. That's big. I mean, think about who's in that space. XRP is in that space. Chainlink is in that space. Pole is in that space. I'm probably missing a couple of others. XDC was supposed to be in that space. Hedera was supposed to be in that space. But I think right now the big players are probably probably XRP, Ripple, and Chainlink. Probably the biggest. Avalanche too. Let's not leave out Avalanche. That's right. Avalanche has the tokenization of 47 million automobile titles in California. Not a small project. Not small at all. And then you have to ask yourself, well, what if that goes across the country? You start getting this state, then this state, then this state, then this state. The textbook is going to be, this is how California did it. That's going to be the textbook. Like, dang. So yeah, I'm sitting back and I'm kind of like, yeah, that's no joke. But I think the biggest players right now probably are Hutanic, I'm going to mention you in a minute. The biggest players right now probably are Oracle, for obvious reasons, with regard to real world assets and tokenization, and XRP, right? Only because they've been working with banks to begin with. The difference between Chainlink and XRP is Chainlink has a deep relationship with Swift. Swift is in 11,000 banks around the world, basically all of them. And so there you go. Like when I told you weeks ago, I told you months ago, when Swift got into bed with Chainlink, Swift was going to walk Chainlink into everywhere. Well, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. So a big deal. Hutanic. Now, are you as annoyed as I am? You gave me some news earlier, and I have yet to hear about it anyplace. I looked in a lot of news sources. Nothing. Nothing. It's indirect, right? It's indirect. And everybody, I'll tell you what it is in a minute. But it still involves Cardano. You see what I mean? Like somebody should have been yapping about that. What we're talking about is a stable coin. What is it? USDM, a stable coin brought by Moneto or something like that. These two companies came out with this stable coin, and it's the first one on Cardano. So that's what I mean by indirect. So my problem is that those companies that came up with the coin, the stable coin, backed, pegged to the US dollar, supposedly not an algorithmic stable coin, and nobody's talking about it. Crickets. How? I mean, before they made the big announcement that they tried to cut any deals with, a DEX, a SEX, something. I mean, I found nothing. It's not to say that in a couple of days they won't come out with that news and everybody has an article about it. But right now, there's no real news about it. And this is big news. This is what I mean by Cardano, about Cardano. They don't necessarily have the best marketing engine behind them. Like somebody should have helped that project get the hype. Cardano should have been helping them get the hype. The first stable coin on Cardano, and you hear nothing. I can hear the baby crying from around the corner, but I can't hear anything about this. Come on. Somebody do something. Think. First of all, I don't know if the Chinese government holds the most Bitcoin. I haven't done that research just yet. I don't think the Chinese. Let's run with the idea that that's true. Let's just run with the idea that that's true. I do not know, right, if the Chinese stock market is tied to crypto the way the United States stock market is. We kind of go like this. Sometimes we're in sync, and sometimes we're just not. As a matter of fact, in China doesn't like crypto. So that would be another reason why. And China's economy sucks. So that would be another reason why. It's huge to have a stable coin in the EU and the US. Dude, how you going to tell me? I'm upset that nobody was talking about it. VJ Toss, why the silence in it though? Yeah, just I don't know why nothing, not a peep. I go back, I check the comments from this morning's show. Hutana goes, yo, this is what happened. And I'm thinking, oh, let me go find an article. Let me go see, what's going on. Nothing. And I was crazy busy today. I had meetings all day out the yin yang. I just didn't have time to dig in deep. But even this evening, I go and I'm doing, evening research and I'm looking over here, looking over there. I have so many news sources. I couldn't find a word about anything. So maybe in the next couple of days, it'll start to seep out, but I'm annoyed. Yeah, BDC is pumping right now for sure. It's at 70,920, or actually 979 at the moment. The VCs ignore Cardano. Screw the VCs, bro. Screw the VCs. I'm talking about just news. Nobody could like whisper that out. Look at Shiba Inu. If somebody sneezes, that's a part of the Shiba Inu community. Oh, that's big news. Everybody knows about that. Oh my God, he sneezed. She took a poop. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about it. But Cardano does something and nobody knows anything. Cardano, I mean, if you look at some of these larger projects that have funds that are, helping other projects to get along, they help them with PR. They help them with PR. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Yeah, that's right. I don't think they have a PR crew that's helping them. So I'm sitting back and I'm like, I hear what you're saying and I don't disagree. I do not disagree with you. But aside from that, you couldn't get that out on Chainwire? Like, seriously, you couldn't get that out on Chainwire? You couldn't drop a press release because there are tons of places where you could drop press releases for free. It's just you have to do each one separately. So there were places that you could drop the press release. Verify the information, you're good to go. And you can see the headline. First stablecoin on Cardano. Cardano gets its first stablecoin. Big bold letters flash. I'm just saying, neon lights, dancing girls, dancing guys. Just saying. Come on, Hutanik, you can't tell me that you're not annoyed. You cannot tell me you're not annoyed by that. The VCs ignore. And I'm just sitting back and I'm like, you're absolutely right. They do ignore Cardano. But the first stablecoin on Cardano? What's Cardano's TPS? I'm not really asking you to go look it up. Isn't it faster than Visa? I thought the U.S. held the most crypto. I really do think the U.S. holds the most crypto out of all the governments around the world. So yeah, I do think that's incorrect. China doesn't. I seriously doubt that China holds the most Bitcoin. Seriously doubt that. Just the way it always has been. But that's what I mean. That's the way it always has been because they've never had a strong marketing team to let people know that you can do stuff. Stuff is going on. I'm just saying. To me, it's no excuse. Cardano should do a better job. There's so many other platforms out there that help these companies get the news out because it helps everybody involved. You're building on my platform. My platform is going to help you get the word out because you getting the word out gets the word out about my platform too. So yeah, all the big ones do it. Yeah, but it's not even about having the money to do the marketing. I hear what you're saying about the treasury, but you don't need money to do marketing. There's a thing called guerrilla marketing. It's damn near free. Like I said, there are places where they could have dropped that news. And let me say this, to be clear. It's not a Cardano problem. I mean, it is a Cardano problem, but the company should have been doing this. Hey, we have a brand new stable coin and it's blah, 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 blah. It's the brand newest thing out there. It's the cutest, the shiniest, the silverest, the goldest, whatever. But they could have dropped that press release in like 15 different places for free. For free. All these people out there writing articles, you could have called somebody up and said, hey, I'm going to give you an exclusive. You could have dropped them a note. First one on Cardano. They could have done that. The United Arab Republic, Vietnam, U.S. hold the most BTC in that order? That can't be in that order. There's no way in that order. Tell me that it's not in that order. Can't be. Can't be. I'll lose my mind. Leroy Green, what's up? Wasn't there a movie, a character in a movie with that name? Just rings a bell. I know I'm not thinking Leroy Brown. Not thinking that. So yeah, I'm just sitting back and I'm looking at that news and I'm just like, wow. I'm still tripping over Van Eck creating that new ETN for Pith. Right? That's nuts. US is number 7 in the world total. Wow. Wow. Leroy, you can't get mad at me because I said I wasn't thinking Leroy Brown. I really was thinking Leroy Green. And Binance co-founder says, yeah, we didn't ask people to give us pay to play coins or anything like that. Sorry, got an itch. 6 votes, 50% say yes, and let's see, 3 say yes, 2 say no, 2 say other. Yeah, but that's not his name. That is the song, but that's not his name. It's Leroy. It's Leroy Green. And I just remember that name not from here, but I thought there was a movie character that I had seen that had that name. Just looking to see if any other comments over on Instagram. But yeah, it's insane. Just the way it always has been. Cardano does not want Circle on ADA. I always thought that was a problem. I always thought that was not necessarily the best decision. I always thought that was not the best decision. It doesn't matter. Circle's gonna get coverage wherever. They don't really need that from Cardano. The question is, with USDM, where are they? Like, where can I get USDM? That's gonna be the big deal. Like, what is it paired with? How many pairs do they have? It's going to be a minute before it grows up. No, that's a political question. We absolutely do not discuss politics on this channel, period. What other news was there? There was something from this morning that I wanted to talk about. Tokenization in Singapore. Booming. SBI is not a small firm. SBI Holdings is expanding tokenization in Singapore. That's huge. King David, what's good? So for me, that's a very big deal to be thinking about that. USDM is on MinSwap and SundaySwap and Taproot. Those aren't small. Those aren't all that small. Those are known spots. Captain Banana, Thailand. Wish somebody would take me to Thailand. What the heck? Shoot. Just saying. Nice little vacation. Take me to Bali or something. Just saying. I'll be your valet. It's all good. Maybe they just want institutional investors in first. I don't know. Hutanic, you're up on this. Hutanic is the community Cardano captain, if I had to say. He knows just about everything about Cardano. Do you think they're trying to go after institute? I don't think so. I just think that I guess you could say, well, we're starting out small, but SundaySwap not small, MinSwap not small, Taproot not small. So gas prices are a determining factor. They're a part of my equation. Gas prices are a part of my equation. I will definitely say that. But that's all I would say, is that it's a part of the equation, right? Because I really don't care about your gas fees if I'm saving on gas fees someplace else, because I look at the whole transaction. So because I've done trades where I've actually made money off of that. You know what I mean? So I have no problem with gas fees. It just has to fit into the equation. Then I'm good. But yeah, it is a big deal. It's for trading pairs. Of course, it's for trading pairs. I mean, don't get me wrong. Anybody that's bringing competition to the stablecoin space, I'm happy about. But If you're going to launch a stable coin, it's got to have a use case. You have to have a direction, and you're in it to win it. You know what I mean? There's some big players out there, so you're going to have to step it up. I would imagine at the top of the market, I would think ADA holders will park dollars in USDM. Oh, you're cute. You're cute. Oh, I don't know about that. Why would I park in USDM? Like seriously, why? If you're thinking Cardano takes a little bit of a dip, you'll be like, "Oh, I can see this dip coming. I'm going to move it over here and like let it rock for a bit." But that I could honestly see. That I could definitely see that. But if I'm seeing a dip, I'm thinking. Because before, when I said I'm seeing a dip, I would move my funds into like USDT or USDC, wherever I'm going to get the most staking, the most for my staking. I can promise it won't go back to traditional banks, dude. Traditional banks, they're trying to figure it out. Oh man, they're having a hard time figuring it out. They really are. They really, really are. Like big. It's more than what people think. They're really scratching their heads. Like, how do we do? Because the other crew that's trying to figure it out, credit cards. They're all trying to figure it out. What do we do now? Like, what are we doing? That's why you see so many deals between Visa, MasterCard, and we're doing this with crypto, we're doing that with crypto. No, they're just trying to make sure that they can still insert themselves as a middleman in a transaction. But when adoption really takes over, who's going to need that money, that middleman? Which leads back to how much fiat am I actually going to need, which leads back to the hell I need a bank for. like these aren't even far-fetched ideas, idealistic, ideas or anything like that. This is just like, no, this is how it's playing out right in front of us. That's what makes it crazy. Jared Chamberlain, what's good, dog? No. VJ Toss. Yeah, absolutely. Can I call you VJ for short, please? Because VJ Toss, I'm asking. If you say no, then I'll stick with it. More term device than I have for me. Shirt is good. Oh, you mean VJ? I can call you VJ? Help me out. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Let me see if I can read this again, because there's almost no punctuation. Let me see if I can get this right. Bro, I got more return on my term deposits than I have from ADA. IRS like having the best quarterback and not putting him in the starting lineup. Frustrate. I don't even know what that means. Don't make fun of people's names. I will definitely say that. I do not make fun of people's names. VJ, thank you so much. Hutanik, I'm with you. I'm not even gonna venture down that road. Bybit received their VASP license, in Georgia. Spoke about that. Paxos and their new stablecoin USDG, and that's with Paxos, Kraken, Robinhood, Galaxy Digital, and others. That is an interesting move. That is a very interesting move. Right? Like, you kind of sit there and you're kind of like, ooh, that's a lot of companies coming together to do this. So that caught my attention real quick, really, really quick. Something else that came on that I dropped this morning are three. They do Web3 development, right? Blockchain dev, and they're basically putting themselves on the chopping block. So you have an exchange. What exchange was it again? That put themselves on the chopping block. I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but there's an exchange that's basically up for sale. Remember, I was talking about, there are a lot of companies out there that could buy that exchange. And then here's a web development company that's for sale. I'm just saying there are companies out there that can afford to snatch both of those and have not a problem. Apology accepted. I'm just checking Instagram to make sure there are no whatchamacallits over there. It's funny. Hutanic, what was really funny? You remember when you first hopped on, I was like, Perspicacious, that's one hell of a name. And then, I was looking at you and here's Hutanic, and I was like, where does that come from? I just remember certain things just jog my memory, and I just remember it. It's a long time, man. Just Lord have mercy. For all the big baggers, I did send out the email today. For whatever the Sunday is, a week from this coming Sunday, whatever that Sunday is. I believe it's at 1:00. All right. So get ready. We're going to be talking about some stuff. PAX Gold, that's cool. Haven't played with that yet. Which chain? I don't know. Captain Banana got it. Are you going to be able to make it? Because I know Sundays aren't so great for you. But Sunday is a good one for me. Oh, somebody's walking the dog. ETH because it's redeemable on ETH. Oh, ETH because it's redeemable on ETH. Yeah, nice. My third largest position is now PAX G as insurance, and my treasury since I drained my bank. I hope so. We like having you there. Just letting you know. Nice. Did you catch that run up? Yeah, because I bought a couple of days. I bought a couple of days ago. I bought a little bit before my mom bought. Then my mom bought. Then I bought a little bit more. I'm holding the rest as dry powder. I don't need to jump on it and everything. PAX G is expensive though, isn't it? PAX G is not inexpensive, from what I recall. But I can understand the idea. I mean, that's a really good move. Must say, definitely must say. Albert Gold, what's good? What else do we have? There was that. We already spoke about Hamster Combat losing 85% of their peeps. So that's a lot of news. That's a lot of infrastructure stuff on top of the obvious that's going on now, right? And then let us not forget that this week, that there's a decision on interest rate cuts, right? Or the interest rates is what I'd say. I don't know if there's going to be another cut. I'm hoping that they're smart enough. To not have another cut and pause and do another 25 another time. But I think they're going to try to stick to their call of 1%. That would mean that there would have to be 25 this time and another 25. And I'm kind of like, I don't like that idea. It's on Polygon 2, but you can't paste your address in to see the serial numbers on the gold. PAX G is almost the same price as spot. Oh, okay. That's really good information. You should write articles. I'm not playing. So yeah, that's the news for tonight. I'm gonna go relax, everybody. I'm gonna go chill. It's been a long day. It's been a ridiculously long day. And I suspect that we'll be watching the markets come tomorrow. If you're a numbers freak like me, Bitcoin was up exactly 2.34% just a little bit ago. And when you sell at spot and not to coin dealer ripping you off. Yes, that's the one. You sell at spot and not to a coin dealer. Coin dealers, wow. Yeah, nah. Listen to him. He's right. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Let me end this poll real quick. 7 votes. 57% say yes. 14% say no. Well, really, nobody said no. And the other 43% said other. That's really what it boils down to. Everybody, thank you so much for chiming in. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much just for giving me your trust and me delivering, true news to you guys. Yes, there will be another interest rate cut possibly this week. Yeah, the meeting is this week. But tomorrow, I believe. But there probably will be an interest rate cut. I just wish there wasn't one coming this time, because the numbers the current numbers don't really support it. That's why I'm thinking, yeah, maybe not. And take a 20 at the timeout so it's divisible. There you go. Everybody, have a good one. Thank you so much. It's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Don't forget to smash the likes.